What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Off the Air. Immediately following NXT, we're here for you. We're ready to talk about it. And best of all, we've got a return. He's been back, but he's been busy. He's here. Get your twos up, whether it's Saturday or not. From the DMV, we got Shoddy. What's good?
Finally, the Ark has come back to NXT off the air. And boy, I have missed you guys. I've missed you, bro. I miss Dryzzy. Obviously, Drizzy's got way more important things to do tonight. Happy wife, happy life. Respect to him, respect to his missus. But I'm back, man. You see the shirt? A father. Salute to my little man. He's taking a nap while I do this show, and then I'm gonna go back to tending to him. But let's talk about it, man. NXT Vengeance Day. This was a fire pay-per-view, PLE, whatever the hell they call it nowadays.
Absolutely. There's nothing more serendipitous than this, though. Look at the first comment. Hello, Sean Clark from our buddy Bobby B.
My boy.
He's got his twos up.
B Squizhair, bro. How you doing, good brother? Hope you doing well, man.
We love you, bro.
Let's get it, bro, because we was watching this together. You know what we always say, man. The backbone of NXT is the backbone of life, and that is from a woman, and that is the women's division, bro. They was carrying this nice show.
Absolutely, 100%. We've also got some comments over on Instagram. We've got Rihanna 11 with Go Birds. Obviously, a shout out to you. I gotta accept that this week, all week long, and I get it.
You remember the Royce the 5'9" cipher? Ariana.
Ariana. And then we've got Mobish Returno Solo Dolo. With ADC in the spot, just left Vengeance.
Hey, let's go.
Love it.
Hey, salute to you, bro. I am from the DMV. I have been to that arena multiple times. Last time I went to that arena was the AEW holiday show or Dynamite with Ospreay, Darby. Look, before we start the show, I must say this. That is a great arena because it is not the biggest arena compared to like Capital One, a little bit more intimate, but just how it's shaped, like the Sports Center, it's so circulated and everything, like all the volume from the crowd, you can hear everything, and it showed so well tonight watching it on the pay-per-view, and I just know how it is live.
And Mobish Returno Solo Dolo said also it's a great venue. He echoed the same sentiment basically just now. Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And we've got another comment here from Brent Johnston 784, which is who's the new faction? Stay tuned. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, I assure you.
We're still trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah, same here. Retribution. Who are they? No, I'm kidding.
Retribution.
Retribution. Thank you. There we go. Retro Houston. Who is it? I don't know. But let's get into our first segment here. We got the women's fatal four-way. We got Roxanne. We got Cora Jade. Dang it. I picked Cora Jade all week.
Yeah.
And I was on a lot of shows this week. And almost everybody I did shows with, we did not one, but 2 rounds of predictions for this card this week. And both times, I picked Cora Jade, and everybody else and their mother picked Julia. So dang it, I lost. But we also had Bailey and Julia. Shoddy, heck of a match. Julia retains. We still have a women's world champ. There's a lot at play here, though. Let's talk about the match itself before we get into post-match.
I thought this was my favorite match honestly, of the entire night. I thought the chemistry and dynamic of the Fatal 4-Way worked so well. You had so many, quick pace abilities of trying to get roll-ups, everybody attacking one another, Cora and Roxanne having the dynamic of working together, but then also being foes and Cora getting one up on her, then Roxanne getting one up on her, and then Bayley being the veteran that she is, being the staple of kind of making things work, and then just the star power and phenomenal in-ring work of Julia. I thought it was a phenomenal match, man. And a lot of the highlights come on all four women. Like, nobody took any breaks in the entire match. Everyone came in with their A game. It was the main event for a reason, and it definitely delivered. What I would like to, kind of more so give a lot of love to is the person that you were talking about. I think Cora Jade is someone that we need to look at as a main event star in the women's division on NXT. And the reason a lot of us may not see that is because time, right? She's been out due to injuries, but you talk about her coming back with recovery. She hasn't missed a beat. She's so fluid as a worker. She's got such a great style of wrestling. Her high, knee strikes, the suplexes, everything, the psychology that she has, just the heel dynamics. I think Cora Jade is damn near a perfect prospect when you talk about a professional wrestler. And even though she didn't win tonight, that's someone that you got to continue to look at and be like, hey, she needs to be in this main event picture. I want to see her and Roxanne continue this feud. That kind of being the send-off match for Roxanne, giving her friend the rub before she goes on to the main roster, because I think Cora could still take some time on the NXT roster and develop. Now, to our champion, Julia, there's just something about her that oozes the word like presence, and that is just something that she has, and she's undeniable. She's an undeniable superstar. She walks in with so much elegance and grace. She has a phenomenal look, and once the bell rings, you see how great she is. And a lot of the people always say, oh, you coming from Japan, how's that going to work in the WWE? They're going to water it down. You become neutered. Bruh, have y'all not seen Io Shirai? Have y'all not seen Asuka? Have y'all not seen Kairi Sane when she was in NXT? I feel like NXT is the easiest transition for Joshi wrestling out of any other American promotion. Like, they let them be the stars that they are. And yes, she's got to tame down the strike maybe a tad bit, but she hasn't lost a beat as an in-ring wrestler. She's been having nothing but bangers, and she's been a phenomenal champion. And I thought this was a great title defense. And hey, man, you talk about getting a win on the Fatal 4-Way against those three women, you got to consider her as one of the best in the world when you talk about that. Like, that's not an easy task to win in a match.
I mean, Julia, I think is pretty dang undeniable now. And this is where it's interesting, because the Julia Vauquer connection is obviously a huge factor in this match. You broke that down perfectly. As far as the actual results of the Fatal 4-Way are concerned, I'm with you in every regard. Now we've got Stephanie Vauquer, but then this is where it gets dicey in my eyes. This is where things get a little bit funky. We throw like a little bit of a wrench in the plan. Jordynne Grace is here. So she shows up at the end of the show. Hell of an entrance. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Vauquer has her moment. Julia has her moment. This is an unbelievable Fatal 4-Way. Bayley being an absolute staple of NXT. And I love that Bayley was involved in this match. To me, that was important. When you look at the marquee for this Vengeance Day, it's a beautiful card. It truly is. But Bayley's name was near the top.
Mm-hmm.
If you really think about it, I do want to shout that out before I talk about Jordynne Grace and Vauquer and their moments coming out of this. But this is where it gets funky to me. Cora Jade is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
And all four women in this match are legit challengers. And then we added two more. Unless we're going to get those six in the Elimination Chamber, which we're not.
Right.
That's where I'm frustrated, because these are six of the best women's performers on the planet. And I get the new contract with TNA is a big deal, but the reality of the situation is we're also very much aware of the fact Jordan Grace is signed with WWE.
Mhm.
She's no longer a TNA rostered star.
Right.
That's not the scoop anymore. That's not where we're at. I don't understand when we have the deepest division in the world here, Shad.
Yeah.
We've got the deepest women's division there is.
Why would you go to that well?
Yeah, we're throwing more in the pool and more in the pool with almost no opportunity for a payoff. That's where I'm just lost on this. What do you think?
I don't disagree with you in regards to obviously Jordan Grace coming out post match and her kind of presumably being part of the NXT roster. It is one of the facts that it is like the rich keeps getting richer, right? And but it's also the fact that if I want to come to
100%.
WWE, I think I want to wrestle in NXT just because that's kind of where the best women wrestle in a way. Now the closing shot between those three women and the two titles being set in the ring, right? You got a Stephanie Vaquer, you got a Julia, and then you got Jordan Grace. I don't know which title Jordan Grace is going to go for, but I will say this: possible triple threat match, possible 2 out of 3 falls, one for the North American, one for the NXT women title. That could, maybe be a situation. That'd be interesting. Those are 3 of the best women in the world wrestling. But I don't disagree with you because you got Sol Rukas, right? You got the Kalani Jordans, you got the Fallon Henleys, you got a lot of talented women that you don't necessarily need Jordan Grace. I look at Raw, I look at SmackDown, and I'm just seeing a mid-card women's division for those titles that they just brought, and it is like malnourished, right? There's no
Yeah.
competitors for nothing. They don't give these women any. Bro, let me say something real quick, and I'm gonna have to rant for a brief second.
Take your time.
And this
Actually,
has nothing to do, obviously, with NXT because I think tonight you see that WWE can do women's booking damn near perfect, like they do in NXT. But then you go to the main roster. By God, why are both mid-card women's champions taking losses in a qualifier match for a bigger title, right? And it even goes for tonight. Stephanie and Julia looking face to face. You need to keep separation for titles because that's how the cycle flows. That's how you get all these women opportunities to be part of storylines, be part of matches, especially for NXT. They can't afford to have a double champion at all. Your bread and butter is the women's division, and your most depth is in the women's division. So putting a Julia versus Vaquer match for title versus title, I don't like the idea of that personally. As amazing of a match it's going to be, you run the course of having a double champ, and that's not a healthy thing. And then, like you said, Jordan Grace, I would put her on Raw. I would put her on SmackDown. I would have her feud with a Chelsea Green, feud with a Lyra Valkyria. Go for one of those mid-card titles. Or hell, even go for one of the main titles. Her versus Rhea Ripley. It's Jordan Grace. She's like one of the best in the world for that reason. We just saw her tear the house down with, someone like Tessa Blanchard. So.
yes. No, I'm 100% with you. This is where it's funky to me because you look at what Vaquer and Julia have built since they've debuted on the main roster. And it's like, did we forget? Are we supposed to forget?
Mm-hmm.
Are we supposed to not consider that a huge rivalry, a future title match?
Right.
The optics weren't excellent because the optics were that Jordan Grace was the most important woman in the ring
Close it, yeah.
by the time she showed up upon the scene. And to me, that doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, the closing shot having all 3 of them looks amazing, but I do get what you're saying by that. Yeah.
This is the closing shot is great. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, Jordan Grace's entrance outshined Julia's retaining and Vaquer winning the title.
It was about the loudest pop of the night.
Jordan Grace's debut. And this is where it's interesting. we've talked so often because we obviously cover NXT all the time. I'm going to stick on this topic for a second. We talk so often about this TNA partnership, and everybody's all stoked about it. And I love it. And it's like, yeah, Joe Hendry in the Rumble, awesome. Right? We're going to see a lot of crossover. We haven't seen a heck of a lot of crossover. Not as much as we thought. Nope. We saw it in the, you may have put your, right? We saw it in the Rumble. But you know what I'm saying? Where's all the TNA talent then?
Fandango.
Like, yeah, we saw Dango. We saw Dirty Dango, but at the same time, it's like, how much really is it? And in this scenario, it felt like this was like a sort of a cop out in my eyes.
For sure.
In like, oh, you know Jordan Grace from TNA. So this counts?
No, it doesn't count. She's
And
signed
it
to
doesn't
WWE.
count.
Yeah, she's a WWE talent. They said that at the Royal Rumble,
100%.
which is great. By the way, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
Amazing, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's not, we're not going to get.
Hold up. To that point, right? And this is a wonderful comment from the homie Deontay. We might get a Worlds Collide after Stand and Deliver.
That'd be cool.
What side does Jordan Grace stand on? Because she's not, I know she's the big time person in TNA, but she's not TNA no more.
She's not. Yeah, that's the thing. How can she? We all know.
She got to stand and deliver with NXT.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
Like we all know. The secret's out. The cat's out of the bag.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't go. You can't stand on their side. You have to be. You're. Michael Cole said you are signed to WWE, so you're a WWE person now.
Yeah, it's. Let's talk about Vaquer and Henley.
By the way, hold up.
Yeah.
Salute to the homie. I didn't know you from the DMV, man. Vengeance Day was great. Oh, salute to you, man. I'm from the Nova, bro. So I'm glad you went and enjoyed both of those shows, man. I'm jealous.
We've had multiple post-show comments too. Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, all love there. No doubt about it. Like,
yeah.
But let's talk about Vaquer and Fallon now.
That's a bad girl, bro. She a bad girl.
70 Vaquer is no joke. OG Loke, in the words of the movie Friday, when it comes to that. But Fallon Henley, that fur coat, come on, man. That was sick. The fur coat was dope.
Dude,
I gotta give her credit.
I love Fallon Henley. I think she's so underrated.
It's one of those, like, she's good. She's good. She's good. It was time for Stephanie to win this title.
Sure.
I think because of what we previously just discussed with the main title picture, there's a little bit extra funk. And you would have liked this to be, not you, as in you, Shad, but like I would have liked this to be Stephanie's like crowning moment in NXT in some ways, despite the fact that she's had so much success. And it felt a little overshadowed by what happened in the main event, despite the fact that her and Fallon put on a great match. What were your thoughts on it as a whole? And then obviously the future of the North American title, because it should be a big deal. That's the point. They're separate titles.
For sure.
It doesn't seem like a time to combine them.
No, and I'm not going to repeat what I said earlier. I don't have the idea of them consolidating or go title for title. It wouldn't be a good move. But in regards to the match itself, tone setting, they set the tone for the night. You start off the show and you set the bar of how great the PLE is going to be. And that is exactly what they did. Stephanie Vaquer, in my mind, is just a perfect professional wrestler. There's not much I can say bad about her. She looks the part, and damn it, she can wrestle the part. She shows up and shows out anytime she's given an opportunity. And she's one of the people that I, am not surprised that they was calling for her, right? I know a lot of people were laughing at Mercedes Moné about her little tweet that she had about they're going to try to sign people for if I wrestle them. But hey, man, we all saw what she did with a legend like Mercedes Moné at Forbidden Door. And it has, prior to that too, in CMLL, in New Japan, going against the likes of Julia prior to it before. She's one of them ones. And her being the North American champion makes a lot of sense because this is someone that you are going to get a great match when she goes against anybody in the women's division. You have to step up to Stephanie Vaquer when you have to wrestle her, right? You can't come lacking. And tonight, Fallon Henley didn't come lacking. I got to give a lot of props, tip my hat off to our, long-lasting North American Women's Champion. Fallon Henley had 8 title defenses, was a fighting champion, did her part as a heel character, running a faction. Man, she's a special, special talent as well. And sometimes, like the Cora Jades, right? The women's division is so stacked in ways. You tend to forget about some of these girls and forget how great some of these women are. And she's one of those people that, like, you can't really go without the show saying, you know what, we can't have her on the card, because you need to have her on the card because she's going to help make the card better. So Fallon Henley, man, I think she has a very bright future in the WWE. I'm excited to see what happens for her next. I want to see some more direction from Fatal Influence. Deontay, I know you did ask that. My issue with Fatal Influence is that they just tried to copy and paste Toxic Attraction and don't have a true image to it. I think JC Jane is a good side partner, but the trio, it doesn't sit well. Jasmine Nix is just wearing the Rip Hamilton face mask all the time. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, and they all, there's the thing. I watched the pay-per-view with my wife today too, right? And she asked me, she's like, oh, I thought those two girls were Stephanie's team because she was wearing black and the aesthetic matched her more. Why aren't they matching Fallon Henley? Like, why isn't they all have matching ensembles that make them look like a team? Stuff like that matters, bro.
Speaking of stuff that matters, if y'all missed it, go ahead and Google translate Vaquer, and then remember that it was a cowhide jacket that Fallon Henley entered in.
I like that.
And then look that up, because I'm with you. There was a lot of little things when it came to this one that were like absolutely calculated.
So let me ask you this though, because this is something interesting, and I want to see if you agree with me or not. We're talking about the TNA partnership, right? And we're also talking about someone who's a legend. We're talking about someone who's part of a WWE show. They took a picture together. Mickie James, she's not that far removed from wrestling. I see Trish coming back, having the work with Tiffany Stratton. Yes. I think Mickie James feuding with Fallon Henley, repping the moniker of TNA, is something that could benefit Fallon Henley and help her progress and get her to a higher stature in the women's division.
Easily. This women's division is so loaded, and not to just take the eyes off Fallon herself, but like Fallon getting reps anywhere in any good rivalry like this one was, and everything. That's where I think it almost goes back to our first segment, Shad. Where I look at it, I'm like, this division's so deep. Now we're overshadowing each other.
Bro, you see the 3 women sitting in the stands that have the number 1 contender match for the North American title too?
It's unbelievable.
Parker, Kalani Jordan, Carmen Petrovich.
Yeah, it's like, when does it end?
Yeah.
And I think for somebody like as talented as Fallon, any way you can stand out is going to be important, because this next crop of talent is not here to leave. They're here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much that simple. It's like and I love this comment. Kalani might win. I think Kalani Jordan might be the best of the bundle, but it's a dang good bundle.
Kalani and Stephanie as Stephanie's first feud and match would be phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal. That is like match of the year type of like
Yeah.
talent when you talk about athleticism, high flying, speed, fluidity. Like both of those women are so fluid in the ring, have such good move sets. Kalani's, I agree with you, bro. She's another one. I have an island. It's like Cora Jade, the Fallon Henleys, the Kalani Jordans, right? You know, the Sol Rukas, the Tatum Paxleys, who's the GOAT. Like these women are so damn good, but sometimes you forget it because we got so many people. It's crazy. And that's why I don't understand why the main roster isn't picking some of these women up and put them in a mid-card picture. Like you have Lyra Valkyria as your Intercontinental Champion. Why not bring up Tatum Paxley and go to a familiar feud that we've had already? You know, Chelsea Green versus a Kalani Jordan, Chelsea Green versus a Jada Parker for the U.S. title. Like we have a lot of stale, repetitive feuds. Bro, you have a well of riches on NXT that can easily get called up.
Easy. I'm with you. It is the deepest division in all of women's wrestling. It's really no debate. And it got deeper. We added Jordan Grace tonight.
Crazy.
Officially, right? It's been discussed before, but we actually officially did add it. And that's where it's like
that's KD signing with the Warriors, bro.
Yeah, like it never ends.
It's KD signing with the Warriors. Crazy.
All right, let's talk about a triple threat here. We got Oba Femi against a tag team, not in a handicap match, but I'll tell you who was at the handicap. Anybody not named Oba Femi that was involved in this match. And those two guys' names happen to be Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. What a horrible time to be named those names when you're taking on a guy like Oba Femi. I mean, that's uglier than it's ugly. Let's put it that way. Oba gets the victory. Obviously, quite a bit of great work. I enjoyed this match. What were your thoughts on it, Shadi?
Man, this was a phenomenal triple threat match. And I think we was joking around about it, but like it's time to crown Oba Femi the king of the triple threat matches, man. Like the dude always comes out and shows out in triple threat matches. I think the notion that, you know, that he's not a worker's worker is just got to be completely thrown away. Like I love that we're kind of going back into the big men era of pro wrestling in a way. Two of my favorite big men in pro wrestling is on AEW is Brody King. In the WWE world, it's Oba Femi. I think Oba Femi just shows pure dominance, pure athleticism, and pure psychology. He's so damn smart. The finish of this match with, you know, Waller running to do his little stunner out the ropes and him kind of moving out of the way, letting him hit it on Theory, then grabbing Waller, power bomb, 1, 2, 3 win. That was a creative, great, smart finish by a guy who's you would expect to just run through all people, but he is going against the odds. He is in a triple threat match against a tag team. And, you know, you do have the deception of these guys butting heads and trying to get one up on each other. Grayson playing the slimy heel that he is, but Oba still got it done. The percentages only are higher because it's Oba Femi. And, man, the match was really well wrestled. I look at a guy like a Grayson Waller and an Austin Theory. Let's get them out the tag team, bro. These guys are good singles wrestlers. They know how to wrestle, and they know how to make people look good. Let's utilize them for what they're good at, man. Stop putting them in this makeshift tag team no more. Let's break them up, have them have this feud, run the fade, and then let these two guys be single superstars because I see the talent in both of them, man.
I am so with you. Let them fight. It's over. A-Town Down Under is under. It's not over. It's over. We've got Atlanta and Australia. I get they both start with A, and that's adorable, which also starts with A. Stop it. Knock it off. Let them fight. Make them fight. Figure out who's better. I don't know. We've got Austin Theory should stay in NXT from Deontay Belladonna. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe. But something needs to be figured out with these two. Because what they're not is a tag team division threat any further. They're an entertainment. They're a vehicle for entertainment. They've become a joke in some ways. I mean, we're talking about a guy that pulled the curtain back against John Cena at WrestleMania in Austin Theory. It's not going so great now. We've got Grayson Waller, who was like, oh my gosh, Captain Charisma, shout out Christian, of NXT. And it's like, not going so well now. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out in some way where it's actually paid off because both guys are talented. And I really do believe it. Even Bobby Petito's here. Stop teasing us that they're going to break up Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Yes, please let it happen. Let it happen and let it happen organically. Get after it. Let's fight now. It's over, right?
Yeah.
Like, Shadi, it's over.
By the way, salute to Grayson Waller reading the inner excellence on his AJ Brown going into the tunnel. He's an Eagles fan, so part of me didn't want to see him lose, but then I was like, I can't root against Obafemi. He's him.
It's Oba. Obafemi is the most dangerous guy in the entire sport right this second. I mean, the truth of the matter is he's struck the perfect balance of being able to sell and be intimidating at the same time. And it's just that simple. But let's talk really quickly about Shadi. You just sent it in the private chat, not to give inside baseball, but
I know I forgot to put it on the thing, and I think this was a match. It made me, oh man, this was a really good match. Really
was.
Good match.
Diet Scott Hall's best effort of 2025.
This is probably Ethan Page's best match in NXT thus far, his best singles match. And a lot of it is to him, man. The guy is a talented professional wrestler, talented heel. But that boy, Javon Evans, man, going against the odds, going through the wire with a broken jaw, man, wrestling him, not supposed to be medically cleared. And they had a banger of a match, man. I loved everything about the storyline building up to it. I think Ethan is good in this type of situation where you don't want to root for him because he's such a D-bag. I'm not gonna curse. He's such a douchebag, man. Like, I don't want to root for that motherfucker. Like, he's not one of those guys that I really want to root for. And going against Javon Evans, man, like, Javon is the complete underdog, man. He's someone you really hope to see win, but tonight was not his night. The closing ending, man. One of my favorite shots of the night is Javon trying to hit the springboard, and then Ethan Page, clean as a whistle, knocking his jaw and getting his mouth guard out, and then going from there, finishing the job and winning the match. Dude, that was a dope finishing sequence to the match. I thought it was a great match. I do have a little bit of an issue because I need to see Javon Evans start winning feuds, right? We talk about him in a positive light, but
I'm in the same boat. I'm like, dang it. But why wasn't it Javon's time?
It's like the Carmelo Hayes effect for him in NXT, how it is for on the main roster, right? It's one of those situations where I feel like they lean on the guy a lot because he's so good at his role and making people look good just because he's that great. The best wrestlers make other wrestlers look good, by the way. And that is the true honesty of it. It's easy to be the man, but it's not easy to make someone look like the man. And he knows how to make people look like the man, but sometimes it comes to his, demise because you're so good at being the underdog and losing that we might, you got time because you're young. But still, bro, like, we talk about a weak men's division. This dude is a diamond in the rough. He's young as hell. He's athletic as hell. Why he isn't a North American champion in 2025, I would be highly disappointed if it's not the case.
I could not agree more. Let's talk about a tag match, and then let's really talk about the one that everybody wants to hear what we have to say about after that. We
Oh,
even
bro.
saved
Hold on,
it.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
No,
No,
we're
no,
not
no.
going
We
to talk
forgot.
about them.
We forgot to
Nope.
talk.
We're just going to end with them, period.
Okay, bet.
Nope. We're saving it.
All right.
We got Fraxium versus Briggs and Imanura. And this was a really freaking electric tag match. I don't care what anyone says.
This might have
If
been match
you
of the
didn't
night.
like it, I don't know what you were watching.
You think this was match of the night?
I have a hard time not saying it's match.
Y'all
I was
comment
like,
what y'all thought match of the night is also.
yeah, I
Love to hear
think this
people's
tag
comments.
match somehow, and I got to give credit where it's due. Fraxium just can go, period. Like, that's who they are.
Oh my
Like, they're
God.
just good at wrestling.
Hold up, bro.
What?
This comment is crazy.
Honda.
Oh my God, Street Fighter reference. He do wrestle like he's E Honda from Street Fighter, the sumo
He
dude.
does. 100%.
My bad.
No, he is E Honda. The guy's a sumo wrestler.
He is.
He came from sumo. Had a weight loss journey, the whole nine. Google it. But we've got the tag champs retaining. And that's the spot we ended up in, Shad. I thought this was fun. But do we really need to break this down, or do we need to get into the strap match? And then as well as what everybody wants to talk about.
I'll give a couple tidbits and then we can get to the next topic. The
Deal.
things that I take away is this. One, Fraxium are reaching unprecedented territories where we talked about it like before the year ended. They might be the best NXT tag team of all time. They teased about it in the pre-show saying we want to get to that. I can argue that they're already that, man. These guys don't have bad matches against whoever the hell they go against. And that is something that is not easy to do. They rise above the occasion. They are incredible against whoever they go against. I got to give them the props. But if I had to give a winner of the night, even though he didn't win the match, Inamura, my bad if I'm saying his name wrong. That brother got over in the nation's capital. They was shouting his name out. This is a dude who's not even an NXT signed roster. He's from Noah. And if anybody became a bigger star tonight on the entire show, it is that young man. He was chopping the block in Southeast DC. He was doing his sumo stances. He was powerful. He was throwing people around. That man, if they can get him signed under contract, pen and pad, hand it to him, blank check, because I think the dude could really be a factor in NXT under Shawn Michaels' guidance, man. Like, the dude is one of them ones. I really rock for him heavy.
He is young Ishii in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The way Tomohiro Ishii is the Stone Pitbull.
Yeah.
That's what I see. The way it's like, it's unique to the rest of wrestling, and you just have to accept it. Like, it's
and the WWE doesn't have a guy who works that like
that
strong, like Japanese style, like Ishii, right? Like that's where he can stand out because he's different.
100%. I could not be more in agreement. Now, this is where people are going to start disagreeing. We're going to start with the strap match, and then we're going to get into the new faction and everything that everybody's wanted to talk about all day long, all afternoon, all evening. I don't care anymore. I understand the first topic here is going to be the Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe match. We have a comment here from a friend of the show, which is that the strap match was good too. Woof. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it wasn't. I didn't like it. Dang it. It bothered me. You know why it bothered me? Because Trick Williams is that darn good.
Mhm.
And I really thought that's who we would see opposite Obafemi. That is not very clearly, given the results tonight, what we are getting. I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. That doesn't mean I'm stoked about it. Shoddy. Let's talk about the strap match as a whole first. Mr. Thorpe gets the victory. We have the debut of this new faction, which we may even name ourselves on this show.
Oh yeah. Strap matches are tricky, man. You have to have a intensity, physicality, and all of that tied to it to really make it work. And in my opinion, it's got to feel like a real bloodshed feud. Now, I do think Eddie Thorpe and Trick Williams sold us a story for it. Trick is kind of playing this redemption arc, being upset. And to that point, I really thought it was supposed to be Trick Williams belt to ass, BTA, beating him down tonight and coming out with that victory. Why we are pivoting to Eddie Thorpe, it has me a bit confused. I'm not going to lie to you. And that's nothing to disrespect Eddie Thorpe. I think they're trying to, create a star out of a young talent, which is what you should always do. But it should never come in the sacrifice of your biggest star. Now, if this means Trick Williams is going to the main roster and he's tipping his hat off and putting somebody over, I can kind of understand that. But I don't know if that is the direction. I don't know if Trick Williams is going to Raw or SmackDown. I think he's very well content in staying in NXT for a little bit. And for us to kind of play this Trick Williams going through all these hurdles, this ain't a hurdle he needs to try to jump. This isn't a person that he should be taking losses to. And to that, I say that to say this, man, like it's just wasn't the right result in my opinion. It's one of those things where if Eddie Thorpe doesn't come out of the feud as a main stage guy, I worry about his future as a star in the WWE. Not saying I think he's going to get released or anything like that.
I'm so with you, Shad. I worried about it before he won.
And I don't know if he's. That's the thing. Do you think he's a heel? Because I don't think he has a heel
what he
personality.
Is.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about Eddie Thorpe. Shad. Let's talk about this new faction. Let's focus on that. And including Trick Williams. And this is where I find it funky. We've got some funk.
Oh, yeah, the ending was trash, by the way. He did win with a drop kick.
So he did do that. So we've got the interference on Obafemi. Mm-hmm. And then the attack in regards to this match as well, right?
No, it wasn't this match. It was the Fraxium match.
Fraxium, I apologize. Yeah. But either way, the net of it is these guys are involved. We don't know who they are. But what I really want to talk about is Retribution sucked. And the debut of unnamed factions has since been scarred. Mm-hmm. But I want to start this segment, this final segment of the evening here, with let's give these guys a shot. Come on. Yeah. Let's give them a shot. What if it's good? Mm-hmm. Did you think about that? Mm-hmm. And what if they just whoop everybody's freaking ass on the whole roster with the numbers advantage and really tell us a cool story? Let's give them a shot. We've got unnamed. You know who else is unnamed on NXT right now? Rick Starks. So, that's all I'm saying. There's a lot of unnamed people in regards to this show over on NXT. And we've politely let one go because we happen to know his name from the internet. And the other 5, we don't. Mm-hmm. These dudes mean business. And I respect that. I like that. Let's give them a shot. Let's give them a real shot. Let's see what happens. And I hate to do the cliche, let it play out. Like, God, I hate that so much.
Mm-hmm.
But sincerely, what if it's different? What if it's better? What if it's more important? What if these dudes that we're introduced to are better than what we've seen before? It's gnarly. 2 matches, 2 run-ins, and it's serious. Is it recycled? I don't give a shit. It's not recycled.
Let's go.
It's something different.
Yeah.
It's something different. And let's see how it goes, Shotty. What are your thoughts on it?
You know what, man? I'm buying stock on this faction. I am buying stock on this faction. Everyone is so nan boo boo about it. Let me tell you why I like NXT. They swing for the fences. They only go for home runs. And if it pans out, boy, it's going to pan out. If it crash and burn, it'll crash and burn. But that's how you know you have yourself something special. You have a diamond in the rough if it pans out. And think about it like this, contextually. All right. I think the issue that a lot of people have is the fact that it is a lot of, we don't know who these people are, right? Forget about that. Think about how they debuted. They attacked the tag team champs and they attacked the world champion. That as a fan and that in kayfabe alone should make you feel like these guys mean business. These guys are coming for vengeance on Vengeance Day. Now, they are all young talent. A lot of these people we haven't really got familiar with. We see Dion Lennox. We see the character arc that he's been trying to go with. He doesn't want to be the nice guy. He's crashing out. He's turning a more heel dynamic. You got a couple other dudes who we don't know. We got the homie Saquon Sugars, Lucky Ali from Washington, D.C., do-rag and all, part of the faction. I think it's interesting in a way. I'm not saying this is the faction of the year. I'm not saying that they are, all of a sudden going to take the world by storm, but I'm not saying they may not. Like, this is NXT's men's division needs superstars to build off of. And if you're going to build off of it, throw these 4 dudes into the fire and let's see who comes out, rising like a phoenix. That's kind of where I agree with you on that, bro. No, I would maybe possibly had one familiar head in it, but hell, man, we know who Dion Lennox is. He's on our weekly television all the time. So at the end of the day, I'm buying a little bit stock into it, bro. I'm buying stock into it. I believe in these young brothers, and I'm excited to see what they do.
With you, I apologize for the technical issues as well, by the way. That was one of those things, but I will say this. Look, you can't win anything that doesn't start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. You have to start somewhere, and this is a start. Whether it's Dion Lewis or Dion Lennox, whether it's Saquon Barkley or Saquon whatever, everybody in the comments, I don't care. I don't give a shit no more. I want to see what these dudes can do in NXT.
Bro, I
don't care what they did before.
This man is going to wrestle in a fucking do-rag every week. How can you 100%. Not root for him, bro? He looks like Ski God, the Slump God, bro.
He's gonna punk out punks. That's his job. He is going to, Charles Barkley, he just said, you can call me Charles Clarkley today, because I'm just telling you right now, there is no doubt in my mind this group can figure out in a way that Retribution didn't, that the Death Riders haven't.
Let's go.
That why would we discount these people just because of history and other examples? It's silly as could be to me. It's goofier than a football bat. Stop it.
Bro,
it's different. It doesn't have to always be the same. History does repeat itself, not over and over.
Here's the other thing too, right? Y'all tend to forget this is a developmental brand, right? So it makes sense to look. I know we've been getting spoiled with all these marquee signings, the Julias, the Stephanie Vickers, the Ricky Starks, Ethan Page coming, right? Hell, even fucking Sean Spears. You telling me that I can watch a weekly television show with Sean Spears freaking luring random people into a team that are a couple randos?
Oh, wait, you mean Ty Dillinger?
Yeah,
Sorry.
man. Let's talk
Fuck.
about it, bro. Like, we can't look. They got y'all talking. They got y'all talking.
That's what I'm
They got y'all
saying.
talking. I mean,
I
hey,
gotta
man,
give him a shot.
bro,
We're gonna see it.
my man, yo, they let a dude from DC debut in DC. You
Let's
know,
go.
that is major stuff right there, bro. He's from DC. Saquon Sugars is him. Y'all can't disrespect Saquon Sugars. From Saquon Barkley to Saquon Sugars. It's sweet over here, baby. We winning
Yes.
over here. It's sweet on this side.
I'm with you. I mean, look, and I love the scouting report. Like, we gotta know who they are. Let them tell us who we are. When,
Yeah.
on Tuesday night, we'll find out. And don't get me wrong, it
Did
is
y'all think
Dion, it is
look,
Saquon. We know the names. We know who they are.
did y'all think Puka Nakua was gonna be leading the league in
Hell
receiving?
no. Hell no. And
Right?
it's
No.
it's Tuesday night. We're gonna find out who the hell they are. And if we don't find out this Tuesday, they'll be there, and then we'll find out next Tuesday. And that's the fun of this whole thing. This is the only thing I was bothered by was like, stop it. This isn't Retribution 2.0. This isn't some sort of Shield knockoff. Stop making comparisons. Stop making it like a let the story be told. Let them tell their story. Let the performers perform.
Wrestling
And
fans love to see stuff like just people. This is the issue I do have with pro wrestling in the sense we're in such a compare and contrast world where we don't look at stuff for what it is in our for face value, right? Like y'all are
yeah,
so quick to try to say, "Oh, it's gonna be retribution," or bro, Timu Shield. Do you know that's not a compliment? Like for
yeah,
real, if they're anything a
it's
smidgen
not
like the
nice.
Shield, they are probably one of the best factions in professional wrestling now because that's arguably one of the greatest factions of all time.
It is.
So if they are a Timu Shield, that means they are damn good. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like at the end of the day, we got a group of talent that's being debuted for a reason.
Yeah.
They're here for a reason, and not wait to hear it. It's going to be a lesson in pro wrestling booking when we do figure out the why of why they're here. This
Interesting.
is
Look, for a brief second, let's talk about the homie Dion Lennox, right? Because we have talked
yes,
about him before. What was our biggest gripe with him is the fact that his character was stupid because he was wearing glasses and being a Poindexter, but then he would try to be the guy used to play for the fucking St. Louis Rams. He's an
yes,
NFL player, right? He can beat everyone's ass on that damn roster. He a
1,000%.
big bad dude. He's got a competitive edge to him.
Big bad motherfucker.
They just had him in a dorky ass character. You let him be a dude like a Braun Breaker. I don't know. Is it not because he has the Steiner bro? The dude is in the same breath as a Braun Breaker when we talk about from the aspect of where he came as a talent before wrestling. He's a top tier athlete. He's a former NFL player. You give the guy an opportunity. You let him cook. Who knows? He could pan out and be the same thing. I'm not saying this team is gonna really burn the world down and become the biggest faction of all time. But I'm not going to also say that they're going to crash and burn. I'm going to let it play out, and I'm going to give them for the benefit of the doubt. And I want to see them succeed.
I couldn't agree more. This is actually interesting. He said he played for the Saints. I'm like Saints and Rams.
Yeah, he played for the Rams, bro.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, didn't he play for both? Technically, I don't think he
No,
actually played for the Saints. He got signed by the
he
Saints and
played
got
for the
cut.
Rams. He was like a linebacker on the Rams.
Yeah, and then he got cut by the Saints. But either way, we've also got
NFL,
Alexander is going to AEW. I don't know about that either.
Yo,
That seems like a lot of conjecture.
Trick Williams played for the Eagles.
Yeah, there's a lot of good NFL talent when it comes
The
to
other guy, not Dion. I don't know, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I just recognized Dion Lewis or Dion Lennox, and
Oh, really?
the
We know
big dude.
bananas. What was his name? No, I'm actually curious now. Cause no, now I understand here.
All right.
I love that. We'll figure that out
Hold on, I'll
down
pull
the
it up real
road.
quick. I'll pull it up real quick. We could do this
Jasper Troy. Thank you. We got it already. Jasper Troy.
Jasper. Is that his real name?
I think he was a New Orleans Saint.
Okay, Jasper Troy. Okay.
Gotta love New Orleans.
Oh, this is the dude that was in the he's on that show.
Yeah.
On the LFG show. Did he win? I thought you have to like I don't know.
I
But
don't think he won. I think they just debuted him early.
He
They had
won.
to have filmed that in the past. No spoilers, but spoiler. Like he couldn't have won if he's already debuting separately. It's like the same thing as like the person that gets the second place in The Apprentice usually gets a good job too.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Anyways, and we don't know where the hell Josh Alexander is going. Only him, his
Only
agent,
Josh
and his
knows.
wife knows.
I don't think it's AEW though. I hate to say that to my friends that said that it was AEW, but we do love all of you from everybody here at WR. And we thank you so much for tuning in. What is your predictions for the name of the faction? Shad, you got one before we go home?
Names of the faction. Man, it's probably gonna be something lame. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like the the Dark Asylum or some shit like
Dark Asylum.
I don't know.
I think it's gonna be.
Keep saying Team with Shield, bro. It's a compliment.
I almost said it was gonna be the Undertakers, but that one's taken. I think it's gonna be the I don't know, the Gangsters. I don't know what it's gonna be. It could be anything.
Oh, they got those like skull like face mask things.
Yeah, the skull. Yeah, the ski instructors.
Oh no, Bobby's corrected. His name is Josh Black.
Josh Black. He played in the NFL before.
Okay,
Bobby. Big ups.
Bobby's a football expert, bro.
Look at that. Now we're talking. Thank you, Bob. We needed that. Okay, but that does bring us to the end. On behalf of me and Shad, check us out every Tuesday night.
Bobby is right, by the way. Josh Black, former defensive tackle, went to Syracuse.
Syracuse defensive tackle.
Yeah, 2016 came out in the 2021 draft.
Forget Jamie. We've needed Bobby Petito the whole time. Like Joe Rogan, take that. How do you like that, Joe?
Go ahead, Bobby. Hey, bro, you get a round of applause for the day, man. You the MVP.
Yo, Bobby, fan of the day, winner, chicken dinner, no doubt about that one.
For sure.
But that sincerely, I've been trying to end the show now for like 5 minutes.
Hey, bro,
really hard.
It's you and me. When it's niche random athletes, we always go on a tangent, bro.
It's all love, y'all. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back on Tuesday night. Check us out on the daily. Check us out on everything. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of all Wrestling Republic, have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.